Hello. So, hi, I'm LuLaRoe Marie Ellenson, and I am going to figure out how to work YouTube this year. That's on my bucket list for 2017, is try to figure out YouTube. So, I wanted to do my first video, first to introduce myself. Ooh, I'm a little chopped off there, sorry. First, I want to introduce myself and let you know how long I've been with the company. My name is Marie Ellenson. I have been selling since February 2016. When I first decided to onboard, it was scary. I was so scared. You know, the $5,000 was a huge financial hardship for my family in order to jump into LuLaRoe. It wasn't like we had bank accounts with $5,000 just hanging out in it. So when I first decided to join LuLaRoe, you know, I had reached out to the girl that is now my upline, and I said, hey, I'm interested in joining. How much is it? And she told me, and I didn't respond for one whole month. Not one full month. And I sat on it and I thought on it. And while I was thinking about LuLaRoe, I was actually continuously buying more LuLaRoe. I was buying Nicole's, and I was buying leggings and Irma's and classics. And then after a good month of being a loyal customer to the consultants that I was shopping from, I decided that this probably was the move that I needed to make. It just was a natural progression from being an avid shopper to becoming a consultant. So I reached out to my sponsor and I signed up, and it was a little different when I signed up. We had a 2-week wait. It was a month after I had onboarded that the queue was born. Right now the queue is sitting at 6 to 7 weeks. I foresee a big boom when tax time hits. Tax time is a great opportunity to jump on to the LuLaRoe train, whoop whoop, because some of us get tax returns. You know, and what better way to spin that tax return than on building a business that is not only going to be profitable for you and your family, but it's also going to help allow you to blossom like I did. I completely blossomed into a woman. I think before LuLaRoe, I was in the mom rut of wearing yoga pants and my husband's shirts, and my hair was up in a bun for like days, and I was living off of prayers and coffee is what I was doing. And I started wearing the leggings, and they felt pretty similar to the yoga pants. They're buttery soft, but it was just all of a sudden I went from the leggings, or from the yoga pants to the leggings. And then I noticed that as I was wearing these cute leggings, I was wearing cute shirts, and I was putting my hair down, and I was putting lip gloss on, and I just watched my own transformation before I even became a consultant. And something about that spoke to me, because these were things I wanted but didn't do. I wanted to be more feminine, and I wanted to be beautiful, and I wanted to feel good, and I wanted to have that confidence, and I wanted my husband to see that in me. And what my husband saw was, his shirts not being worn on him, but being worn on me. Funny story. So when I was clearing out all my non-LuLaRoe clothes, I had this huge pile of clothes I was getting rid of, and my husband walks in, and he goes, "Why are you getting rid of my clothes?" And I'm like, "But you never wore them." He was like, "I know I never wore them. I didn't get a chance to wear them because you were wearing them." But anyway, I could get off topic and talk and talk and talk. I have the gift of gab, for sure. If you've been over to my house, you know that I'm a talker. So I wanted to break down some of the fears that people might have when they're thinking and considering about joining LuLaRoe. The first fear is the biggest one I hear all the time, and it's the pyramid scheme. And I didn't actually understand when I kept hearing this, because LuLaRoe was my first dive into direct sales. I had never done direct sales. I never thought I would do direct sales. I wasn't interested. I'm not a salesperson. I can't sell a car. I can't sell, lip gloss, although I do love some lip gloss. I just wasn't interested in it. But the clothes spoke to me on such a fundamental level because I was buying them and wearing them and feeling good in them. So it was a new consideration. So when I first heard isn't it a pyramid scheme, I didn't really scheme. I can't say that word. Pyramid scheme. I didn't really understand. And it took me a minute to realize it. So I think that in pyramid schemes, as you grow up the ladder of leadership, in order for you to get your bonus check, I think in other direct sales, they skim off of what they're making. I don't know because I've never done it, but this is what I've been told. And that's not the way LuLaRoe works. It's not the way that bonus checks are written out. Bonus checks are paid by the company. So when you become a fashion consultant and you make $6,000 in 1 month, that's $6,000 that's yours. There's no division of it. It doesn't come to me. It doesn't go to my upline. That money that you make goes to you. It's yours. So in that sense, it is very different. There is no, the percentage is taken away from you and given to someone else. When you buy the clothes at wholesale, you get the full retail value for it when you sell it. There is a processing fee, but like PayPal, Square, they all charge processing fees. That's completely separate. So then we'll talk about the startup costs. I know that when I first found out about the startup cost, I was shocked. I was super shocked. Like, what? You paid that? You know, because usually when you hear about direct sales and you ask a question like, how much is it to get the starter kit? They're like, it's $300. And you're like, okay, well, we could make 300 work. And then you hear that the startup cost could be, you know, around 5,000 or up. It's very scary. I was fearful for sure. I was so fearful that when I was told the amount, I did not respond for 1 full month. I had nothing to say. I was scared. I was super scared. But I continued to think on that. And I remembered thinking that if I were to open a clothing boutique, how much money it would cost. I'd have to find the location. I'd have to get an accountant. I would have to get all the things to fill the store, all the different racks, and I would have to get the displays, and then I would have to find companies to buy wholesale from. And a lot of boutiques, they don't buy from one wholesaler. They buy from a plethora of wholesalers, right? So I would have to do the research. I'd have to find it. I'd have to work. It would be a lot on my plate if I started my own. But sorry, my thing is falling. And then you would have your monthly overhead for your rent and your utilities and all the things that you would need to keep that store going. And then maybe you would have to employ employees right out of the gate unless you were going to be there every single day during your open hours. And I think that probably you could start this for like $50,000. I think that would be a fair guess for how much it would cost to open up a small business. With LuLaRoe, it's very different. They set it lower. They set it at $5,000, and they set it with the intention that every single person who has the desire and the call to work in this business has the ability to come up with $5,000. I know it sounds astronomical. It's a huge amount. It was a huge amount for our family. But if you look at it and you break it down to start your own business, it's incredible. $5,000 is not that much. So I'm going to, I took notes because I get off topics because I talk a lot. And so one of the things that I hear in business is that when you start a new business, you need to be ready for the first 5 years to be hard. For the first 5 years to be able to break into making more of a profit. With LuLaRoe, the average for us to pay back ourselves for starting this business is 3 months. Now, I'm going to say that with anything, it really, really depends on how much you hustle. What are you going to do for your business? Are you going to do sales every day? Are you going to do them every other day? Are you going to do one sale a week? Are you going to do one a month? It's what you put into it is what you will get out of it. If you work really hard, I mean, the numbers could be amazing. And if you treat this as a hobby, then, having an extra $500 or $1,000 a month is something that is very, very easily attainable. Another question that I get hit up with is, what if you can't sell it? Girl, you can sell it. I know you can. You know how I know you can sell LuLaRoe? Because you will be wearing LuLaRoe. You'll be wearing it. You'll be wearing the product. You will be your own best personal advertisement. Every time I leave the house, I leave in at least 3 garments of LuLaRoe, and I never not have someone ask me about my outfits. I never not leave the house and have someone not compliment me or want to touch my legs. For real. Everywhere I go, people touch my legs. My husband is now used to this and deals with it. But I just, everywhere I go, people are asking me questions about my clothes. And sometimes I'll take the sweater right off and I will let them put it on. I will let them feel the magic of LuLaRoe. And that is how you will sell the product. You will sell the product because you will stand behind the product because it makes you feel so good. And when you feel so good, you radiate that to the world. The world will see it. They will take notice to you. They will appreciate how happy you are, and they'll want in. They'll ask questions. They'll buy the leggings. I've had people want to buy the leggings off of my body. I did it. I sold it to them. I did. Why not? Another big concern I hear a lot is the time that it's going to take away from your family. I'm not going to sugarcoat this for you because in the beginning, it's going to feel very overwhelming. It's going to feel like there's so much to do and you're working all the time. And this job is not hard, but it's work. It's a job. You have to work it. So when I first started this business, I worked weekends and evenings only. I was home during the day. I took care of the things I needed to during the day, but on evenings and the weekends, I was working. As a result of this, I didn't have a lot of time for my friends. I didn't have a lot of time for my family. If my family wanted to be where I was at, then they were in the LuLaRoe room with me, and I put them to work. And you better believe they were in that room with me. They were hanging out. I have a teenage daughter, and she goes to every single in-home pop-up that I've ever done. She goes to most of my vendor events. My 15-year-old son has gone to vendor events with me as well. They load my car up. They unload my car. They do inventory count. My 8-year-old actually does my inventory count. She loves it. She gets her little notebook out, and she goes around, and she's like, okay, we've got 5 size 3 Biancas. It makes her little heart happy. She loves it, and she does it with crayons. And that's how I do my inventory as a business from my 8-year-old. It works. But my family's involved, and my husband is a part of it. My husband, anytime I say, hey, wouldn't it be amazing if I had a sign that had hooks on it so I could hang all,